Play isn't just fun. It's essential for children's mental health and development. Quality play helps kids express emotions, reduce anxiety and depression, and build important life skills like confidence, creativity, and resilience. Outdoor and active play, especially when children have freedom to explore, boosts mood and reduces stress, helping them become happier and healthier. Yet, Canadian children today spend more time indoors and less time in free play than ever before. Creating a space for play at home, at school, or even outside offers kids a vital outlet to learn, grow, and thrive. When children play, they're building the foundation for lifelong well-being. Welcome to Beyond the Surface. Today I have once again the privilege of welcoming Dr. Lewis. Welcome back, Dr. Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Today we're going to talk about children and play, and now we're going to watch a video about it and be right back. Let's watch it together.
I love watching her play. It's fascinating to see what she does and guess at what's happening in her mind. Because I know a lot must be happening in there. She's decided to build something. I wonder if she saw it in her mind first, or is it taking shape as she goes? It's certainly not a building I've ever seen before. It's her own special creation. I watch her little hands and fingers as they grasp, turn, and balance until everything is as she wants it. I remember when those hands could hardly hold onto my finger, when they first learned to reach with a purpose. It's amazing how much she's grown. But now she's run into a problem. Something in her creation isn't working out the way she wants it to. I see her getting frustrated. Who wouldn't? But then she sits back a moment. She's still irritated. I can tell by how she's frowning and breathing. But she's also clearly thinking about the problem. She tries several different things until she's finally satisfied. Wow. I'm amazed. She kept at it and didn't give up. I cheer with her. I tell her, sometimes life is like that. It doesn't go the way we want. Sometimes we have to work hard at it. But so long as we don't give up, don't give in to frustration, we can find a way forward.
So today's topic is a very fun one. We're talking about play, especially in the context of children. And Dr. Lewis, we're grown-ups today, but we've been a child before, right? I want to hear from you. What was your favorite game growing up?
There are a few. My favorite games were around storytelling. So it would be my siblings and I would be like acting things out or telling stories or like riffing off each other when we were telling stories. Others that we'd like to do when we're outside, we call it sightings or dandy shandy. That's from the Caribbean, that's from Jamaica, where you have one in the middle and you throw the ball and they have to sight and they run back and forth, you know. And if you get smacked by the ball, then you're out and another person goes in the middle. So that's like sightings, depends on the part of the island you come from. Sightings or dandy shandy.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
And you know what? It makes me think of my childhood. I remember growing up in a very hot city in Brazil. And one of my favorite playtime was at the pool. And we would play Marco Polo.
Oh.
Or we would play like we were fish and we would swim. And there was role play involved.
Yes.
And when we think about those memories, I don't know about you, but they're fond memories, right?
Yes.
They makes us feel good about it.
Right.
And I think this is such an important topic. Why are we talking about play in children today?
Because play is the most natural thing that happens. It's the language of a child, And it happens everywhere, in every culture that you go to, children play. And it's so important to allow space for them to play and encourage them to play, because it serves so many different purposes. I remember we were on a beach in Negril and in Jamaica, and there were several children playing, and neither of them spoke the same language. There are about 4 kids playing.
Wow.
Nobody spoke the same language, and they were out there playing for the whole time. So play is so intrinsic to children that even when they don't speak the same language, they speak the same language of play. And they were all playing together with a game that had rules. And I'm like, how are they communicating? But they were communicating through play.
That's so interesting. And we saw a video of a parent planning playtime for the kids during the holiday, because it's a time where people are, the summer, where kids had so much free time. And sometimes they are spending time on screen or indoors. Is there a specific thing about play that it's related to developmental stages or ages or?
Right. So there are many, play develops differently as a child ages. So when they are 0 to 3, it doesn't look organized, but they're playing still. They're shaking their arms. They're trying to figure out what does that do, what their foot does. And then after a while, you see them start picking up things and shaking it. Oh, that's them discovering their world, understanding the world. So that's cognitive development, spatial development.
The sound that they make.
Right,
yeah.
Those kind of things. Then you have like solitary play, 0 to 2, when they're just watching. They're watching other people play, and they play on their own. And I don't know if you've ever noticed this, where they do this parallel play over 2. You're playing with your truck, and I'm playing with my truck. We're playing right next to each other, but not with each other. And then when they get to about over 4, then you'll see play develop in a different way, where they start to play with each other.
Their games start interacting. Yeah,
right.
That's very interesting.
Right. So they're associative play and then cooperative play 4 and above. So they're starting to take turns, and it's so you'll see more of the tag and the games where they are running, the ground is lava and somebody has to chase the other person, and more board games, taking turn games when they're 4 and plus and older. They start playing cooperatively, start building the story together. So that's how play develops with the child. And some of the benefits of playing, it's multifaceted. It deals with cognitive development. So you're like, no, but they're just playing. No, they're learning to think and to problem solve. They're learning how the world works. It also stimulates development of the brain on a cellular level, because it promotes neurons develop and neurons connecting with each other as they're learning new things. So it's enhanced their memory, their problem-solving skill, critical thinking skills. All of these things are developing, especially when we use toys where they have it's not already designated. So you could build a tower with the blocks, you could build a road, you know, where your own creativity comes in.
They have freedom to do different things with it.
Right. Then we have the social and emotional development that's happening, because they're learning to take turns, they're learning to express their feelings, develop discipline, because sometimes you want to play a particular game that I don't want to play, and in that negotiation they're learning social skills. And they're also learning how to relieve stress by playing. Do you ever see that joyful exuberance? They just release themselves and we need to do that more as adults, to release some of our stress, because they're totally engulfed in the play, and that helps to release stress.
They're in that moment, right?
Right. It builds resilience and risk management as well.
How come?
Because then you're making decisions about, is this too dangerous to do, hanging upside on the monkey bars? Do I want to go on that tall slide, or do I want to try the shorter slide first and build up? Have you ever noticed some kids, they start with the shorter slide and then they watch others on the tall slide, and maybe not right away, and then you see them go on the taller slide. So they're doing risk management. They're becoming aware of their environment, what their skills are, and how they want to develop their own skills. So they're doing a lot of things, taking initiative, compromising with others.
The negotiating piece,
Right. And then
That's so important for life.
Right, because you need all those skills in the 21st century, right? And you start developing right there with play. There are also physical benefits of play. When we have too much sedentary play, we start having the issues that with childhood obesity and all these other illnesses that may be connected to that. But when they're outside playing, there's movement. They learn spatial ability where their body, they develop gross motor skills, fine motor skills. They'll learn how to pay attention to others' feelings. So I may do something and you are hurt and you're crying, so okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. And you may have others like, no, you shouldn't do that. So they're all developing this whole social interaction that's going on with the children at that time.
The play will help them develop emotional intelligence. That's incredible.
Right. So they're using all their skills and they're learning balance and spatial awareness. So many different things that happen that are benefits of play. Many times we think play is just simple and they're just horsing around, but there's so many different things that are happening while children play.
Yeah, that's incredible. What are other things that you would like to share about play today? Because I'm really learning here.
So we spoke about how play develops from 0 all the way up 4+, but there's different types of play. So we spoke about the development of play, but now we're going to talk about the types of play.
Okay.
So a lot of what we were talking about before is unstructured play, where the children just play freely. They come up with their own ideas, their own interests. They're learning some of their own interests as well, and they are imposing their will on at the environment, figuring things out, taking initiative, and facing challenges. Then we have that guided play, where parents may use play to teach. So you want to teach them circles or letters, so we use play to teach in that way. I have a friend who does a lot of that, where we'll put the circles on the ground and then the trucks and you have the truck find the circles or, things like that. So that's guided play, where we're using play to teach skills. Or you may have board games. That's also a kind of guided play, where you have rules, so they learn to follow rules. And rule following is important for living life in school and in society later on in life. So board games teach those skills, more guided play. Then you have those more structured play where you have team sports and leagues and these other things, more structured type of play. You also have something that parents don't necessarily like, which is risky play, where children learn to play with height, speed, with tools, with maybe a slight chance of getting lost or trying to figure things out, and rough and tumble play. There is a professor in British Columbia, that's her research is on this kind of risky play. We're not saying risky in the sense of there are no rules or regulations. So it's
or the child's at risk of danger.
No, but they're learning how to assess their environment and make wise choices. So there is enough structure, enough boundaries or guidance so that they can still, test themselves, test their limits. How fast can I go? How high can I go safely? That kind of thing. So those are some of the things those are some of the types of play.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing those. We're going to take a quick break, but we're going to continue talking about children and play. So we're taking a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
In a Canada facing uncertainty,
we believe there's more to life.
from mental health to faith journeys.
From finding purpose to discovering love's perspective.
Hope Channel Canada brings light to life's deepest questions.
Because there's more to your story.
Hope Channel Canada, there's more to life.
Visit hopetv.ca.
Welcome back to Beyond the Surface, where we're learning about mental health, different topics, and today we're learning about children and play. Playing is so important. I didn't realize how important it is. And you know what? We want to hear from you. Is there a topic that you want us to share here? Is it something that burdened you that you want to share with someone? Or maybe you want your story told in a narrative way. We're going to keep your privacy private, right? But we'd love to share your story if it's something you want to share. So please do write us at info@hopetv.ca. In essence, we want to hear from you, your thoughts, your feedback, your stories. And also I want to take this time to thank Hope Channel Canada and especially thank our Agents of Hope. You know, this show would not be possible without Agents of Hope. Shows like this are supported by Agents of Hope. And if it's something you want to do, if you want to support a show like Beyond the Surface, or even support future episodes of Beyond the Surface, become an Agent of Hope. The information is on your screen. Now we're back to Dr. Lewis. We're talking about this fun topic of play. What else would you like us to share about any important things we need to know about play?
I was thinking about then if play is so important, especially that's unstructured play, or we call it free play, why we're not seeing so much of it sometimes.
We're not, right?
Right? So a part of it is technology. Technology is awesome. It can be a great tool. It can be a space where people learn many things. Yes, you may have skills that you can learn from playing games online as well, but we miss out on the other types of skills and development that can happen when we're involved in unstructured or free play. So that's screen time. Many times parents are so busy and you want to keep children occupied, so you hand them a tablet, or a lot of homework is now online. So they're not only screen time for entertainment, but screen time for academics. So we have a lot of the time that we're spending on the screens, and then we're thinking, okay, if you're spending time on the screen for homework and academics, maybe you need to spend time for entertainment and play off the screens to give the child a way to develop another type of skill, another type of
A little
skill.
break from that screen, right?
Right. The other thing is the academic pressure. Like, we need to be doing well. You need to learn so many things earlier and earlier. And sometimes play gets cut, or if a child misbehaves, we may pull them from recess time, or things
Play
like that.
is just a reward, right?
Reward, right? Instead of like an undeniable right, things that they should be doing regardless,
yeah.
right? Regardless.
Remove other things, not the play time.
Not the playtime, because if you want a child who is focused, let them get that energy out. Let them play.
Sometimes we're removing the outlet that will help them come back and be focused,
right? And be focused. Then we have the hyper parenting that sometimes limit children's ability to explore.
Can you talk a little bit about that? What would be a hyper parent?
So we also call them the helicopter parents. So they're hovering, solving problems for the children, problem solving, dealing with social issues. They're doing almost everything instead of allowing the child to explore and have that free time to play.
There's almost like anxious parents, right?
Right. So they do more structured play. They want to direct the play instead of allowing for more of that free play time. So I know as parents we want the best for our children. We want everything to go well, but sometimes we can swing the pendulum a little too far. That we're stifling sometimes the play that children could be engaged in. Allow them to problem solve when you see them unless it's getting out of hand. Allow them to problem solve as they play. Allow them to create, come up with ideas, try new things that may look impossible to our minds, that fantasy. these are the people who are going to be problem solving the new problems of the future. They start practicing at that early age. In some places they limited access to safe spaces, especially if you're in a neighborhood that may not be safe. So parents may not feel comfortable allowing the kids outside to play. Maybe what we need to do is create the play inside, those creative play inside, those blocks, bits and pieces of things, so they build things. I remember when we were younger, I said to my kids, you have more toys now and you're more bored than when I was younger. I remember when I was younger, we'd use the juice boxes, and then we'll use the covers for bottles as wheels for trucks. We'd make trucks out of boxes, use the stick as the axle, and you create those boxes. Then we'd use old tires, and then we'll have 2 sticks on either side, and we use that, and we're racing those things. So we're using what's in the environment. So if you're not someone who has the finances to buy all the things, what are some things that are in the environment that you have?
Elements in nature, maybe.
Right. Yeah. That children can use their creativity to create new things. Use their mind instead of being bored. If they're not structured, or you're telling them what to do, or they're on the screen, then they come to you, I'm bored. Like, I was never bored as a child, because we were always creating something new with whatever was there. We would go outside and pick the flowers, and they become people. You go and pick sticks, and leaves become money. All this.
True, right? Yeah, I remember that.
Right? So you're using what's in your environment, being creative. We have a saying in Jamaica, turn your hand and make fashion. You use what you have to create what you need. Right?
So wise.
Right. So we need to allow that for our children.
And what I find, Dr. Lewis, that sometimes a little boredom is good, because that will create the space that the child will be uncomfortable, and then they go outside of the box to find creative things to do.
Right.
So sometimes you don't want to deal with the complaining, oh, I'm so bored. Be bored a little bit, and then you find creative ways to deal with that. And I feel sometimes they're trying to mitigate that boredom with this, that. We're uncomfortable with their boredom. Right?
Right. So I like how you've just said it. We are uncomfortable with their boredom. And because they're always saying, but mom, or but dad, but, that kind of thing. So these are some of the changes I think that's happening. It's not an exhaustive list.
No, but I appreciate your list,
are happening that I think constrains that free play that I think leads a lot of these developmental things, cognitive development, affective development, social development.
Really, really insightful. We're going to take a moment to ask some insights from our friends Mike and Pema, and we'll be right back to our discussion. Please, Mike and Pema, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts about children and play?
In an age of technology, it is so easy to put a device in front of our kids when we need a little bit of time to unplug. And yet what we do is we miss out the opportunity of the creative ability of children to make stories out of next to nothing, of just having fun. And so as adults, we need to get involved in that play. And it might be the easiest thing to do is to put the tablet, but you know what? The most fun will be to engage with your child.
Not only the most fun, but the healthiest as well. Right. Because children use play to make sense of the world. They find their own way in the world because of play. And they bond with each other and with their parents even through play. Play is an essential part of childhood. And if we rob them of that by giving them technology all the time, the creativity is gone. I remember a Christmas when my grandchildren got a lot of presents, and and they were playing with the presents. And then after about an hour and a half, we looked, and they were no longer playing with the toys. They had the boxes. They were in the boxes that the presents came in. They were playing more with the boxes because they were using their creativity. Right. And watching them grow up, their mothers always limited their time with screens. Right. But that means that they've been very creative in their play. They would make up games. They would do all sorts of fun things in order to play and to bond with each other. But as I played with them, I bonded too. And I cannot tell you how many times we acted out Bible stories.
Right.
David and Goliath. And usually I was Goliath, but every now and then they wanted to be Goliath, so I'm towering over Goliath. I'm David. All sorts of fun things that we did together. But that's how they made sense of the world. It's how they learned their Bible lessons. But it's also how they bonded with each other and with myself.
As adults, we always talk about role playing.
Yeah.
And to be able to anticipate how a situation is going to unfold. And this is what our children are doing. And yet and don't feel bad. If you're the parent that has to, for a period of time, put some technology so that you can have a bowl of cereal in peace and quiet, absolutely. But don't miss out these gorgeous jewels of experiences that you'll have, because they're only that age once.
That's right. You can use play to instruct your children. You can use play to help them make sense of the world. And you can use play to bond with them. Your children need you, whether you're a parent, an uncle, an aunt, or a grandparent, such as myself now. They need you to be involved in their lives. Yes. And one of the best ways to do that is play. So play.
Thank you so much, Pam and Mike, for your insights. And I want to thank you, Dr. Lewis, because you shed light to what's so important about children play in mental health, right? It's all connected, mental health from children playing in so many different contexts. We have a few moments to wrap up. What are your final thoughts?
I just wanted to emphasize the importance of playing that connects to like preventative factor with when we talk about mental health. So we do you see a lot of stress release, you see a lot of social skills being built, problem solving, they learn to build self-esteem. So a lot of these protective factors develop when they are playing, that free play that can be protective, can protect them or reduce the risk of other mental health issues developing in the future. So play is, I think, very important as a protective factor. And I want to encourage our parents to play with your children and encourage your children to play. Go outside, play, ride your bike, create things with resources you already have at home. Maybe you sticks, maybe you have someone who likes woodworking, or things that with your hands, using your creative mind, problem solving, critical thinking skills. Go outside, play with your kids, or encourage your kids to play together.
Wonderfully said. I love your call to action. Let's play more. As adults with your children, let your children play more. Use their time to be creative and maybe focus on free play too, because it's important, right? Thank you so much, Dr. Lewis. It was such a pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for coming all the way from Berman to share with us. And I really hope to see you in future episodes.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you. You spent this time with us. We're really grateful for your time, your moments with us, and we hope to see you in future episodes as well. See you next time.